Good afternoon, students. In our previous class, we discussed about photosynthesis, what is photosynthesis, and we also discussed the chemical equation or the reaction for photosynthesis. We discussed about the factors which can affect photosynthesis. Now here we'll have a quick recap of the factors which affect photosynthesis. First factor is the light intensity. If the light intensity is more, if the light is more intense, the rate of photosynthesis will also increase. Nature of light is the second factor. And what is nature of light? We scientists have found that blue and red regions of the visible light, they have a more profound effect on the rate of photosynthesis, means they increase the rate of photosynthesis, that is blue and red regions of the visible light. Now the third factor is the carbon dioxide and waters, which are the raw material for the photosynthesis to take place. Plants use carbon dioxide and water as raw material during the process of photosynthesis. So obviously if the carbon dioxide in water is more, the rate of photosynthesis will also increase. As far as the last aspect or the factor is concerned, that is temperature, it has been found that temperature does not have much effect on the rate of photosynthesis, and it depends from plant to plant. So temperature does not have much role to play. Now we are going to discuss one activity where in this activity we have to show that green plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis. You can see in your book, you can see in your book here we have an apparatus, and in this apparatus we have a beaker which is filled with 3/4 of water. We have an inverted glass funnel, we have some cuttings of the plant leaves, and we have a boiling tube or a test tube. So materials required are beaker, water plant cuttings, glass funnel, boiling tube. And how we are going to perform it? What we are going to do, we are going to fill the beaker with 75% of water, or up to 3/4 of the beaker will be filled with water. Now we'll place few cuttings of water plant in it and cover them with a glass funnel. As it has been shown here, you can see the plant cuttings have been covered with the glass funnel, inverted glass funnel. Now we'll take a boiling tube and fill it with water and cover its mouth with our thumb and place it over the stem of the funnel. You can see the boiling tube has been placed over the stem of the funnel. Now we'll take the whole setup in the sunlight. After some time we'll observe that the bubbles of gas start coming out from the leaves, and they move into the test tube. When the test tube is filled with the gas, we'll remove it from the beaker. Now we'll bring a glowing splinter near its mouth, near the mouth of the test tube. The splinter starts burning with a bright flame. Why? Because the test tube contained oxygen gas, and oxygen is a supporter of combustion. It is a supporter of burning. Burning cannot take place without oxygen. So this shows that gas in the test tube is oxygen, and this gas was produced during the process of the photosynthesis in the green plants. Now we are going to discuss the role of plants and the raw materials and the role of leaves in photosynthesis. So we'll come to for photosynthesis, plants need carbon dioxide. And from where do they get the carbon dioxide? They get the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and through the stomata present on the undersurface of the leaves. Then the second raw material is the water, which is also very important. They take water through the roots from the soil. Chlorophyll is a green pigment which is present in the leaves of the plant that traps the solar radiation or the solar energy coming from the sun. And then we have sunlight, because without sunlight photosynthesis cannot take place. Now what are the role of leaves in photosynthesis? We can say leaves have two important roles. First, they have a green pigment chlorophyll, as I had described earlier. And second is that on the undersurface of the leaves, very minute or small pores are present which are called stomata, and carbon dioxide enters the leaves through the stomata only. Now we'll discuss about the synthesis of food other than carbohydrates by the plant. We had studied about photosynthesis in detail. We had discussed it. We also discussed about the reaction during photosynthesis, and we came to know that during photosynthesis glucose is produced by the plants. Glucose is the simplest carbohydrate, and it contains elements like carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Plants also synthesize other food nutrients like fats and proteins. And these also contain certain elements like nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. As far as phosphorus and sulfur are concerned, plants, they derive it directly from the soil, but nitrogen is obtained by the plants in two ways. Plants get nitrogen in the form of soluble salts like nitrates, urea, ammonium sulfate from the soil through the root system. And second, certain bacteria, which are also called symbiotic bacteria, which are found in the root nodules of the leguminous plants, also play a very important role in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen, and they convert it into soluble salts like nitrates, which are then easily absorbed by the roots of the plants. So in this way, plants get nitrogen, which is very necessary for synthesizing proteins. Without nitrogen, plants cannot synthesize proteins. We'll stop here only, and the next portion we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.